They'll think someone is outside. Live from Studio 28. All right, you can bring that down. Oh man, that was like an instant cut. I thought we were going to have a lovely little fade away there.
Went to fade and then
but we didn't
slip, man.
We didn't have that. It's okay. It's okay. That was not an artist that we're plugging because our overlords at Facebook have been upset with me. What was that? I just got a weird overdub. Okay, we're good. Our overlords from Facebook didn't actually enjoy the fact that I was using music that, by the way, we have permission to use. We use a lot of TMR. You know, I'm still going to plug them. TMR, the Marine rapper. Go check him out. Can't use your music, even though he said I could, because YouTube. Who else? We have I Am Jake Hill, another really talented young guy. Not really veteran related, but he's really, really an advocate for reducing veteran suicide. So give him a check out. Give him a out. Go look at him. Go look at his stuff. And lastly, who did I have last week? We had Russ Robeson. That song was awesome. He does a really good job. Now, see, he got me in trouble in a different sort of light. So apparently, Facebook thinks I'm a political organization. At least that's what they said. So I put up an ad for that episode, and I got a lot of hate mail from them saying, you can't do this because you're a political organization. You're trying to sway votes. I'm like, what? That dude, Russ Robeson, is like a big time libertarian. So apparently he's flagged, and the AI or whatever you call it, algorithms pick that up and then flagged me as some sort of crazy right-wing person.
It's a hate group, man. That's all you are.
That's what we are. And I'm not a right wing. I hate guns and I don't like meat. And what else? What else do the liberals hate?
Oh yeah. You think for yourself.
I'm going to get myself in trouble. So we'll stop with that right there. Let's see. Let's go through the list. Welcome to 21 Gun Live. We never really came up with a new name, so we're just going to go with 21 Gun Live. If you think you have a name that we should use, the previous one was Call Sign Silkies, and the previous one before that was the Soup Sandwich. Maybe you want us to bring it back. Maybe you don't. But yeah, tell us in the comments what you want to hear. 21 Gun Live has been, looks like Forbes magazine rated us as the best veterans live show to watch.
The best.
Which is very honorable of them to do. Had no idea they were doing that article, and I'm completely bullshitting you. They don't know who I am, but I just thought I would tell you that. Watch our show, just this one, and turn off the news, and we will give you your weekly What's Up.
But it's how we feel, you know. We feel the best, so that's all that matters.
That's true. I feel like a winner today. It might have something to do with the fact that I'm sipping on some bourbon. We're not drinking too much of this because then I wouldn't be able to read my lovely notes over here. I was going to try, if you remember, I always get pissed off because I'm looking down at my notes. I was going to try to wear sunglasses just to see if I could sneak and look over to the left and read my notes, but I can't tell if it's just very douchey.
I mean, you kind of go with the Maverick look. It's not too bad.
I got a beard though. Maverick was clean cut.
And yeah, but you're a vet.
And he was a homosexual. You're right. All right. Well,
so you guys have a lot in common, right?
Yeah, that's right. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Have you noticed too? Here's another big thing, another big announcement. Jeremy and I are in the studio together. This is the new studio. I've been talking about it. I've been tweeting about it and Instagramming and Facebooking and all that stuff. Yeah, we got a new studio. We've got multiple camera angles. We're just going to show that off here real quickly. Show you how cool we are.
Suck it in, Kevin. Suck
it in.
Jeremy.
There's Jeremy. We got. Look, here's the wide shot. So if you are a TV producer and you want a job and you live in the Clayton area, come over here because Jeremy and I have been here for an hour setting this up. There's literally, do you remember that movie with Catherine Zeta-Jones? Remember, I'm 200 years old. So she was with Sean Connery and it was like his last movie. and she had to go through the
man.
laser beams in yoga pants.
Oh,
Do you remember this?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
The whole point of that is getting from here to the door. If
It's
there's
like
a fire or something, I gotta like, although I don't look as good as Catherine Zeta-Jones, but I gotta like get down and kind of do this and work my way around. So it's a mess. So if you want a job,
down, butt up, the whole thing under the lasers, it's a thing. It's a process.
if you want a job, well, I'm not going to pay you, but come on in. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Sorry, I thought we just lost.
What do you mean,
our
Lauren? I'm not
feed here.
sipping. I'm sipping right here.
I almost forgot to. The views of 21 Gun Live hosts Kevin Sullivan and Jeremy Walton and all subsequent guests are strictly opinions of the individual and do not represent an official position of any guest or associated organizations. Everything stated during this episode are individual opinions, the things that aren't really regarded in high regards anymore, but they are opinions. And if you have any issues with anything that we say here, therefore, to Ibid, Your Honor, I recommend that you as a listener look up your own facts and own stuff and alternative facts, that's what they call it, and then send all your hate mail to insanemarine69@gmail.com.
And that's at Gmail, not Yahoo, Gmail.
We're gonna start something new this week. I think this will be cool. So this week I'm starting off, it's going to be called the Warrior of the Week. But what I'm envisioning this is that you guys email me or email him, now that you know his email address, stories of guys that you served with. Obviously get their permission, I guess. Like if you know someone that earned a silver star or bronze star for valor or something, a good, or actually they don't even have to do that. It's a good story about how your friend had to dodge sniper rounds while running to the shithole for whatever reason. I mean, any story that you enjoy, send it to me and we'll read it as the Warrior of the Week. I want to try to keep it serious, but I have the feeling that the Irreverent Warriors will not keep it serious. But this week, we're going to keep it serious. So the Warrior of the Week is going to be, something just fell. All right.
Throw it, man.
That's right. Alwyn Cash. So if you guys might remember Alwyn Cash, his name's been out there quite a bit lately because he, well, I'll read his citation here in a minute, but he just recently, I don't know if he's actually, Congress gave the okay for the president to give him the Medal of Honor.
Yes.
There's some weird thing with the Medal of Honor and this 5-year mark, and maybe one of the listeners can help us out with this. It has to, or whatever you're earning the medal for has to have happened within 5 years, or you need a special waiver or something like that. But they're always giving out, not always, but every now and then they give out one. Make it sound so cheap. They don't give it out, but you know what I mean. They award one to someone from like Vietnam or Korea posthumously or whatever. And those are, I mean, that's 50 years ago. So I don't know. I honestly don't know how that works. I don't know why there was any sort of controversy with Staff Sergeant Cash.
I mean, if he's a badass, he deserves it.
Exactly.
If he did something worthy of it, who cares when it happened?
Exactly. So this week's Warrior of the Week, we already said Alwyn Cash. He was a soldier who enlisted in the U.S. Army following high school graduation in 1988. He was an 11 Bravo. He served 2 tours of duty in the Gulf War. He served tours of duty in the Gulf War, the 2003 Iraq invasion, and then his last tour was with the 3rd Infantry Division. Something interesting there is that you hear he graduated from high school in 88, and you're like, dude, he's older than me. But this war has been going, this is 15 years ago. That's insane to think about. So at that time, he was what, 30, 32? I'm not going to do the math.
Just about.
Yeah, 34, 35. I don't know, 35. I just did the math.
Let's just say mid-30s is a good break point.
So he was acting as platoon sergeant of 1st Platoon Alpha Company from Forward Operating Base McKenzie. Sergeant First Class Cash departed the FOB on October 17th. Kind of ironic that we're doing this one today. That was, I mean, I know it's in 2 days, but still pretty close. On October 17, 2005, en route to a clearance mission in northern Iraq. Cash was in the lead Bradley vehicle when it struck an IED, rupturing the vehicle's fuel cell. It covered Cash in fuel and caused the vehicle to burst into flames. Cash was initially injured, but exited the vehicle and assisted the driver to exit the burning Bradley and extinguished the flames on his clothes. This is on the driver's clothes. Cash was, I already read that. 6 soldiers and an interpreter remained in the rear of the vehicle, which was still in flames. Cash moved to the rear of the vehicle, reached into the flames to remove the injured soldiers, while his own fuel-soaked uniform started to burn. He rescued all of the soldiers, returning multiple times, all the while he was on fire. Cash rescued 6 soldiers from the flames and refused medical evacuation until all others were evacuated. He was burned on 72% of his body. He eventually succumbed to his injuries on November 8th in 2005 over BAMC in Fort Houston. And he has a wife and kids. So just recently, like we were talking, on September 22nd, the U.S. House of Representatives unanimously passed a bill, which is great. I'm glad that they didn't get partisan or anything for that. And it was introduced by a Democrat, Representative Stephanie Murphy, which would allow Sergeant Cash to finally receive the Medal of Honor. So that's freaking awesome. I don't know how he didn't get the medal before that, because that's way more deserving. Not that a Silver Star is anything to shake a stick at, but still, that is some Medal of Honor stuff there. So, to the fallen. Or never forget anything. We'll figure out what we say. So announcements. Big shout out to Molly, dude, come on. Molly. I always fuck up your name. I don't care. Mr. Doma Hernandez. How about that? Ted Coberly, Matthew, don't call him Matt, Matthew Reeves, and Andrew, I forgot your last name. I just texted you and you sent it to me and I totally forgot it already. Sorry, I'll tweet it out. I don't know. We did a Go Ruck 12-miler this weekend. It was a good time. It sucked. I'm not going to lie to you.
How you feeling?
So I've done half a dozen Silky's hikes.
Yeah, man.
And I probably ruck, I would imagine 20, 30 pounds. I wear a 20-pound vest and then I carry water and gear and stuff like that. And they're about 8 to 10 miles. I think they're supposed to be 22 kilometers, but you got to work with whatever you work with. We also do those sometimes after a couple drinks.
Few breaks in between.
Few breaks. Stops. You might stop for an hour. This was just pounding the dirt for 3.5 hours. I mean, just booking it. And that's 12 miles in 3.5 hours. We were having a good go. We're moving, really good. And that's it. And I actually got, where are you? My Go Ruck Raleigh 12-miler
official patch, man.
There you go. So you can't buy those. You can only ask me for one, and I might give it to you if you send me something really cool in return. Speaking of things that are really cool in return, something else new that's starting this week. So we're going to a weekly episode. People don't realize that's a lot of work. All right. I'm still doing interviews. They're not going to be as often, the one-on-one, whatever interviews. I have a bunch of those still coming out, but it's mainly going to be these type of shows. These type of shows mean more bandwidth, means more storage on the hosting. It's just getting kind of expensive. So I have launched are you going to bring it up? I wasn't sure if you had it already set up. I don't think I sent you the link.
You did not send me the link.
Awesome. Way to go, Kevin. I'm going to bring it up on mine. Or wait, no, just do.
Yes, sure can.
Oh, no, go to 21gun.net. You got to spell it out, Marine.
There you go. Oh, man, it's like I have to type letters and stuff.
So this is for the listeners, too. Go to 21gun.net. You'll notice that it's changed a little bit. Did some changing on there. And the link that says buy a T-shirt from us. We officially have merchandise. So if you go there, are you sharing your screen now?
I can now, yes.
All right. All right, cool. So there you go. We've got the 21 Gun podcast with the dog tags. We've got the hoodies. I made some cheap ones for I think there's a tank top that you can get for $17, or you can go all the way up to the really fancy, expensive ones. But we just want to do something for a couple of reasons. I mean, if you're out on a hike, the whole point of this podcast is not making money. This money isn't for paying car payments or anything. It's to buy equipment for this and to fund the weekly or the monthly costs of production. But it also helps get the word out there. So the big thing is what is this podcast? What's the point of it? The point of it is we reach ears of people that may not have heard of Irreverent Warriors. And what's the goal of Irreverent Warriors? To bring veterans out of isolation and to get them to these hikes. So the idea is you wear one of these T-shirts, someone asks you about it, and they see the show and they learn about it and they hear about the Irreverent Warriors. So just asking for your help there. Another thing you can do if you want is also go to that page, 21gun.net, and you could do the Patreon. Believe it or not, I'm not 100% sure on how to do Patreon because I'm a boomer. But did you notice that we have all our cameras up at once?
We can.
No, I said it looks retarded. I got to do that. Okay, cool. So yes, go to 21gun.net. I don't know. You'll see all the links up there. So that is that. Let's do the news. think that's all our announcements. We're done with
That
our
would be it,
announcements.
yeah, man.
Awesome. So this one, actually, you know what? Just play the video.
I don't know if it could get any weirder. I'm just saying.
Play the video for this one. I like the dramatic music.
Could you imagine finding a giant bag of
not just condoms. These were used condoms.
Used.
So the police busted a condom reusing facility. That's so gross. Look at the bag of them.
Like
The
they found my stash.
Here's 10,000. Here's 10,000. That one's obviously used.
Man,
look at those are all.
If it's by one guy, he's my hero.
And look at that thing. That's like obviously the condom washer apparatus. For everyone who's ever washed a condom, you know, you have this apparatus that looks just like that. You unroll it and scrub it down. But yeah, so that I figured, why not lead with, forget about this whole Burisma thing and this Hunter Biden, you can kill that, the whole Hunter Biden thing. We need to talk about the fact that your condoms that you're using right now could be used. So look to see where they came in from. If they came in from Vietnam, you might want to go buy new ones. If you're in the Philippine Islands and you're a Marine,
it was probably you. It was probably you.
Hey, look, good on you that you used one. That's what I would say. So yeah, awesome. Major changes coming down with the Marine Corps.
Man, if only things would just stop changing. Though change is needed, I think, at this point.
What do you know? Do you know what the point of it is? So to let you know, the Marine Corps has decided that they're going to divest in their armored units and their tank units. And the tankers, at least in the article that I brought up from Uncle Sam's misguidedchildren.com, the Marines in that unit actually ended up crossing over to a Army Guard unit. And the Army Guard commander said, Marines make great soldiers. I don't think they're I don't know. What do you think? Do you think they're psyched that they're going to the big green weenie?
I don't know, man. I think you go from this whole like hard charging corps to 9 to 5. I mean,
yeah, the Guard.
But you got to have some Marines to make it better. So, I mean, it's kind of an upgrade, right?
It's what we said at the end of the Go Ruck. I'm like, it was all right, but who was with me? Somebody. I was like, all he did is talk about how the Marines do everything better. So I assume it's a funding thing. I don't know, because I don't know about these things, but I assume that it says they're going to cut their force down to, I'm making this number up, but it was like 170,000 active duty. It might have been 120,000 active duty personnel.
They plan to downsize the Marine Corps by 12,000 personnel.
Jeez Louise. Now, I'm wondering if that is just because technology is catching up, you know, like you don't need as many soldiers on the front line because we got drones everywhere. We've got hardcore weaponry that can pretty much destroy anyone from outer space. So, I mean, do you think that's the reason?
I mean, it could be because we're now establishing Space Force, so you got to upgrade somehow.
They're also closing their law enforcement units, which is another weird one. I guess the Army, what do they call those? Not the Army, the Navy Shore Patrol. Got it. The Navy Shore Patrol.
The Coast Guard?
Yeah, no, the shore. Haven't you ever been? You're in the Marines. Have you ever been chased by the?
That was a joke.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get jokes. I get jokes. We were in, what's that island south of Greece? Go.
Oh,
Crete.
You're asking a jarhead for geography.
We were in the island of Crete, and there was no one there. I don't know why. This is a long time ago, and my crew and I, our plane broke, so we were there for like 2 weeks, and we were going to all the bars. And in Crete, they just try to bring you in. Like I mean, it's like any foreign country. They're like, hey, come in, spend your money in here. And this one bar, they're setting it on fire. They're giving us absinthe shots. And we're
Sounds
like,
about right.
Oh, it was awesome. And we're having a good old time. And then the problem with absinthe is that it gets you drunk, but it also makes the world just kind of go, and everything slowed down. And it must have been 2 a.m. And the shore patrol chases you out when it's like midnight. Like you go to the brig if they catch you.
I'm missing out.
And we were obvious because we had our short haircuts and everything, even though we were on in civilian clothing. So we hear the shore patrol and all these, maybe they were Marines, I don't know, Navy, maybe they're Army, I don't know, but that's a Navy base. But everyone starts running. My engineer is passed out on the table. And he's not a very big guy, but you know, even if you weighed 170 pounds, it's a lot of weight. So I put him over my shoulder and I'm running through the streets of Crete, through the little like 1,000-year-old sidewalk alleys, and making it back to our our hotel. Because remember, I'm Air Force. It was a
Oh, yeah.
5-star. It was
You
beautiful.
mean your dorms?
Beautiful. It's a beautiful hotel. No, this was definitely this is a resort. But yeah, that was my experience with the Shore Patrol. That's a long-winded story to say, sorry, Shore Patrol, you're gone now. Jeremy brought the next one to the table. Now, this one I've heard this a few times. I think it was Nick Cervantes. He keeps doing it. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? I didn't get this joke at all until Jeremy sent me this video, and I'll just let it speak for itself.
And then we'll discuss it. It's first time I saw it, I cringed hard. I'm just want to throw that out there. And for those of you who've seen it, you know.
Now, I showed that to my wife, who's as civilian as it gets, right? She doesn't get the whole military humor or anything like that. And the first thing she said was, he's kidding, right? He's joking.
No.
He's not joking.
That was a few takes they did.
Are you serious?
There's a whole article about it. She even responded to many saying she did it to support her Marine husband, who was a gunny, by the way.
Wait a minute. So that wasn't her husband?
That was her husband. That's
okay.
To support her husband. And he stood there and he was like, my wife wanted to do this to support me and show that spouses can be there for each other. And I thought it was the most cringiest thing in the world, because as a joke, like, what can you do to embarrass yourself? And then you let your wife step in, and I'm not bashing her, but there's some things you just don't put on social media.
Like, he's ruined, right?
To us Marines, yes.
I know, but like, yeah, I guess he didn't do anything wrong per se, but everyone's going to know who that guy is.
Oh, everybody. For those who are Marines in the military, if you don't know who that is, you're missing out, for one, or you live under a rock.
Did you see the Marine? I don't know if you can pull that up, Jamie, but did you see the Marine that did a TikTok, which I thought was outlawed in the armed services, but he did a TikTok talking about Trump or whatever. And it's like, okay, fine. And then he starts dropping racial epithets.
Well, I'm not going to bring that up, but yes, a young PFC who hasn't made it to the fleet yet.
What a shithead.
And he was making a bunch of racial slurs, making a bunch of threats. The Chinese did it, et cetera, et cetera. And now the Marine Corps is investigating. And
he's probably going to get UCMJ'd, right?
Good luck making it to the fleet, because not only was it was borderline terroristic threats, but you're also being incredibly racist in uniform.
Exactly. To guys that you are probably going to be firing weapons around at enemy, trying to keep them alive as they try to keep you alive.
Correct.
Yeah, what a retard. Dude, I shouldn't have said that. That was unsensitive. What a jerk. And yeah, I don't know. You get what you deserve, dude. That was just stupid.
But to back it up, the Army updated the Marine video. I don't know if you could beat it out. I don't know if you could. That sounded horrible.
I know it did, but let's see it.
I don't know if you could upscale or beat that kind of embarrassment, personally, to me. But then the Army updated their recruiting scheme.
Okay, let's see this.
This is just.
Well, look, I pulled it. I accidentally pulled the screen off right in the middle of that, but you got the idea.
Yeah.
I think so. That was a joke. Pretty sure that was just a joke.
Is a joke, but then you see some of us who are like, man, could recruiting get any easier or harder?
Recruiters get a bad rap. This is a good segue. Recruiters get a bad rap. I don't. The only time I think about my recruiter is he was a E9. He was up at Portsmouth. I still remember him. He had a big gut and nice guy, I guess. But I was in Baghdad, and it was the first time ever I was like, I'm in Baghdad. Holy shit. This is like, since I was a kid, I've heard about this. And then we get mortared, and they're trying to walk him towards our airplane. And I'm running around because what does an Air Force guy know how to do? Just find a hole and hide it. And the first thing that went through my mind, it's so weird. I pictured my recruiter kicking back in a nice office up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, drinking his warm coffee as shit's just exploding all around me. And I'm like, oh, now I get it. I still, you know, I don't have anything bad to say, but a lot of people do. Did you? How was your recruiter, your experience?
Honestly, when I joined with my twin brother. For those of you who don't know, I have an identical twin brother. He comes on the podcast every now and then, just to kind of chat and stuff. And when we joined, we originally were going to be band nerds because we were band guys. We were going to be in the band. We're like, no, man, we want to fight. So the recruiter set us up as you can be whatever you want in the Corps. You can be super badass.
Marsoc.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Raiders.
Got back to the 14-day leave after boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
Put my ass to work. He's like, "Ha, I got you now, suckers." So if you remember this, Sergeant Evans, fuck you.
Oh, well, it's interesting you bring that up because there's a viral TikTok video going around. You want to pull this up?
I sure can.
Jamie? And it's basically, this is from the guys over at Task and Purpose. And it's basically, what would you say to your recruiter? Nice mustache. Oh, Jesus.
So I think that kind of goes back to fuck you, and recruiters couldn't be honest, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm sure there's some recruiters out there. Send me an email. Let me know about how that whole thing works. I think it's one of those things. It's like, you ever meet a car salesman? And recently, I know a couple. What's that?
I said recently, yes. I just bought
really?
the new cars, the Ford Fusion.
I didn't even see it out there. I thought that was your old car.
No, that was the Dodge Dart, man.
Jeremy had a, that was a Dodge Dart where the tree fell on it?
No, that's the Fusion.
That
car is brand new.
So fucking confused. Car salesman. Yes. I was like, what the hell? You meet him and you're like, I get it. You got to have a job. You know, I don't know. And nowadays you don't really do any of that car salesman-y stuff because everyone just buys their cars online and goes in, or you could get a Tesla and you do everything online. Want to see something? Here's another, we're just going through the kind of cringe. These are kind of cringe things, but these are also viral videos this week. Have you seen the cranberry juice Fleetwood Mac challenge?
I have not, but I'm about to bring it up and show you.
I'm going to watch. There's two videos. One is from the guys over at Clandestine. I can't remember those guys there. Scroll it down to the next one first, because this shows the original guy on the right and some, I forget what that guy does on the left, but he's some sort of military. So the guy on the right is the one who originally started this. He just filmed himself drinking cranberry juice, cruising around on his longboard. It's a good song. Okay, and scroll up. And then the Clandestine guys, they did theirs. Theirs is pretty cool.
I think
it was on the same. Yeah, there you go. If I had any sort of talent, go up, right there, those ones. So these guys do video shots. They do all sorts of things for tactical equipment companies. So he's a former SF guy there. They just rented a helicopter to do this because they're friggin' gangsters.
I mean, that's a good way to step it up, right?
Yeah.
You go from rolling around the streets to let's just go into a chopper, no big deal.
How does that guy? I want to hang out with that dude.
I mean,
I got a man crush on him. Is that weird?
Well, that beard though.
Yeah, it's very good beard.
Yeah, if you have the money to rent a chopper just to kind of upscale this, man, I want to be your friend.
All right, you can kill that. So yeah, those are our viral videos of the week. I don't know. Do you know what is really annoying is when people actually, I just took myself off the stream. We need a director, producer. Come on here so you can operate these cameras for us. What time is it? So just about at 8:30, we've got to bring our guest on. Just let me check if there's anything else. There is one more piece of news that I want to bring up. I've been sitting on this for a couple weeks because it's Air Force. And last week was all Air Force. But artificial intelligence, there's no video with this. There might be an article or whatever. Artificial intelligence beat U.S. Air Force pilots in dogfights. So what they do is they're simulators. English is my second language, but the simulators they have all the physics that the real world would have. I mean, these are better than video games. These are, no kidding, how your aircraft is gonna behave in certain situations. So they took these seasoned fighter pilots, and I have a theory about this real quick, but seasoned fighter pilots, I put them up against AI fighter pilots, i.e. the type that would be flying drones, that would be flying futuristic manless aircraft, womenless aircraft, pilotless aircraft,
Personless.
and they kicked the shit out of them. The AI destroyed the pilots. Like, I can't remember how often it was, but it was, I think it was 100%. They just kept losing to these things, which is terrifying.
Reaction time, I would imagine so.
Terrifying. And it makes me wonder how close we are. I mean, my car drives itself. How close are we to like 100% autonomous aircraft flying over Iraq, flying over Syria, North Korea, and just fighting our wars for us?
I would say soon. That's called Skynet.
And here's the thing. Yeah, right. And here's the thing. I had a guy on my last podcast called Wait, What If? And his name is James Barrett. If you ever want to read anything about AI and lose sleep for about 2 weeks, it's called Our Final Invention. And he goes through the whole idea of AI and how it's we seem to think of it as like a computer program that just runs on its own, but it's not. It is basically something that continuously learns. So picture like having Einstein in your room and multiply him by 1 billion, and they're constantly working on problems. Eventually, they're going to get what's called super intelligence. And super intelligence, here's the thing. We don't know what super intelligence is because it's smarter than a human. How can you imagine something that your brain has no ability to comprehend? It's all theory. Can't. It's all theory, of course. But the idea is that these super machines are going to be like picture this. Like, you wake up on a planet somewhere and you look around and there's billions of mice everywhere, and they're trying to rule you, and you're just kind of kicking them with your feet, and you're like, oh, do you know what? I can get these mice to work for me really easy. I just offer them cheese. And then you do, and then they start working. He basically says that's how humans are going to be to these AIs, and then eventually they're going to be like, man, these mice are just driving me nuts, and just wipe them all out and kill us. So yes,
that sounds Skynet, like a Terminator movie, man.
Skynet is not that science fiction. So
yeah, but again, you lost me when you said intelligence. So being a jarhead, that big of a letter, of a word. See, I said letter, not a word.
Air Force Awesomeness is my last one. Then we're going to go to our interview for today, or our special guest. But I just had to show you this because we've all heard the Bert, the beautiful warthog. Have you ever seen one from the cockpit? Oh, did you not pull it up?
Honestly, I have not.
Bitch. Go down. See Air Force Awesomeness right there?
Yep.
Just click on that.
Man.
Who's the boomer here? I thought I was.
Oh, man, I was.
And it should be timed out.
Yeah, but see, it's boomer because it's definitely, you don't understand it. I understand it. I just missed it.
All right, let's check this out.
And let's skip this ad real quick. There we go.
Okay. Check this out. There it goes. Look at that aircraft shake. That's called a whiskey compass on the right. It just gets all frothy. He does it again here in a second.
That's just crazy.
All right, he comes around again. Ready? Watch on the right there, that little whiskey compass. Ready? Watch what it does.
It's just
all shaking up.
Goes haywire.
Okay, that's all for our viral videos and awesomeness this week. Hope you enjoyed. If you guys have any sort of viral videos or anything you want us to cover, send an email, kevin@21gun.net. Got to remember to spell it out. So the website and the email spell out 21gun. Actually, do you know what? Now that I say that, is my email .net or is it .com?
Your email, I believe, is .net.
Are you sure? Kevin@21gun.net? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. I don't know. I don't pay attention to these things.
It's also on the website.
It is? See, I'm learning stuff new every day. All right. So part of being mentally fit is also being physically fit. I talk about this all the time ad nauseum. You guys are probably so sick of hearing me tell you to get your shit together and stop drinking. Whoops. Sodas. This is sugar-free.
My stuff. Geez.
Tell you to just get your head straight. Basically, if your body gets straight, your head gets straight. And I think nobody knows this better than our guest, who is Josh Graham from DD214 Fightwear, or Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I screwed it up, Josh. I forgot which one you used, but here, let's bring him up. All right, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome.
Welcome.
So, what branch were you in? Where did you serve?
So I was I'm I'm a Marine. I was with 3-8 Weapons Company. Before that, I was with 2nd Tank Battalion. I was a tow gunner for the old the tankers that are gone but not forgotten.
How do you feel about what's going down?
A little indifferent, man. We were the only grunts in the unit. We were like the bastard children's. Let it burn, you know. What was that, bud?
Here we go.
Oh, you got it
All
back?
right.
There we
Yeah,
go.
you're
Because we
back.
removed ourselves.
Oof, I don't know
you
what
removed us
happened
from
there.
Stream. That's why.
What happened?
You removed us from the stream. You didn't.
Oh,
you got to single them
okay.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
I didn't want all these cameras up there. It was driving me crazy. And now it says his mic is. Oh no, my mic's muted. Okay,
there
cool.
now?
So what you're seeing is two people trying to run an entire TV show by ourselves while we're giving an interview. So yeah, that's the way it works. Remember, call me if you want a job. Sorry. So yeah, DD214. Tell me about the idea of this, when it started, and what people can find out by you.
Sure. Yeah. DD214. We're all about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
yeah.
Yeah. I fell in love with Jiu Jitsu about 5 years ago after some depression issues that I had with some buddies being gone, and I don't know, some survivor's guilt of just not being in the fight and losing some friends.
That's, believe it or not, we hear more, at least I hear more from interviewing people about survivor's guilt than pretty much any trauma that's out there. People really, really struggle with it. And the weird thing about survivor's guilt is it's not like cut in stone. Like, you hear some stories and it's like some people don't deploy and they deal with survivor's guilt, or some people may have lost a friend. Like it's a very complicated issue. And I don't know the answer to it, but maybe you guys do through jiu-jitsu.
Well, I certainly don't know the answer for it or to it or to speak on it. I just know that I was pretty fucked up. I was
Sure.
yeah. I kind of went in a fog for about 10 to 12 years of just being completely wasted and total asshole. And I had a leader in the civilian world of all places to kind of guide me to jiu-jitsu, just by being a friend, and kind of guided me to Jocko Willnick's podcast and that's kind of took me to a class and got the discipline to continue going. I got addicted to the rush of kind of being in the fight, and that's our motto for our shirts, back in the fight. Just using physicality and just getting back after it every day and getting your ass kicked.
I noticed you have a purple shirt. Is that like 10th Planet guys who their shirt colors are the belt that they have?
This is literally a black shirt. I have a terrible filter on my laptop. So
that's a black shirt, dude.
This is a black shirt. So
that is wonky. And
yeah,
and
totally wonky.
So you don't really have pink hair?
Not today.
I really thought I was colorblind for a second. I was about to say, I know I did something wrong.
Awesome. Yeah, man, I loved jiu-jitsu, and I was just talking to someone, I think it was last week. Our last guest was Guff McGuffey from, what the hell was his organization? Man, it sucks that I can't remember. It's like brain damage, so I never remember these things. But anyways, same thing, same sort of thing. And he worked through his stuff through jiu-jitsu. I did it myself. I mean, I got out, and I don't know if it's the contact, if it's the pushing yourself, if it's the inability to fake it. You can't isolate. He was with 22 Until Valhalla. That's 22uv.org. Great organization. If you guys want to check out that episode, it was 2 episodes ago.
Guy's name's
Last live
Guff,
episode.
right?
His name's Guff.
Guff.
Yeah, Guff
Yeah.
McGuffey.
Yeah, it's cool, dude.
But yeah, ironically, it's the same. You know, we're talking about the same thing, and that's jiu-jitsu and how it healed them. I mean, it worked. I loved it. I can't tell you how much. I mean, I used to go to the gym. We didn't have kids at the time. I would be there for like 3 hours a day, just rolling and just having fun with it. It's kind of we call it murder yoga, but it's also like you reach a level of zen with it that's just incredible. Yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think it's just replacing, bad habits with good habits, showing up, committing to something, working out, getting your energy, kind of like what you guys do with the Silkies hikes, just doing something, getting out and staying busy with something, and maybe creating a hobby, something that you're passionate about. And I think, jiu-jitsu is just one of those things, or, a discipline, or an exercise, or a sport, or whatever the hell you want to call it, that can do all those things. And you've got a group of guys. They might be civilians. They might be, military veterans or whatnot, that you have that camaraderie with, that, you and your best friend are, simulating murder on each other. And then afterwards, going to have a smoothie or a beer or whatever after training. So, yeah, I think it's all that stuff. I think it's just another outlet that anyone can use to kind of better themselves. And
yeah,
certainly what I've used to better myself.
I wholeheartedly agree. In fact, it's like I want to say, now that I think about it, like my last 8 interviews besides Jerry Scher, it has been, people have talked a lot about, like, actually this one, Legion 8. So this is Jeff Morris's. He was the episode that came out, maybe it was this week. I can't keep track of all these freaking episodes. It's like once a week now. But Legion 8, he does a workout WOD, a CrossFit WOD. So check him out, Jeff Morris, Legion 8. But yeah, it's like the common language that we speak. And I think it kind of harkens back to, why is the bond and the friendship in the military so strong, and civilians, not all? I mean, you have your firefighters, your EMS, your what do they call those guys?
First responders, basically.
First responders, yeah. But most civilians don't understand that bond that you can get when things suck, right? I mean, there's obviously, if bombs are dropping, that's one level of suck. But no, just the stupid things, like going into the gas chamber and having to take your thing, things that you can look back on and be like, yeah, it sucked at the moment, but we went through that together, and it gives you a bond. And right. CrossFit does that. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu does that. Heck, we just did that Go Ruck 12 miler. It sucked so bad, like, but I would do it. If you told me I could do it again tomorrow with the same people, I would do it again tomorrow. Absolutely. This is how much I would take. I'd be like, yep, let's do it. Let's go. Let's go right now. We can knock it out.
I mean, I remember the video, man, when you pulled that up with the live, you guys looked
we were beat.
Happy.
We were beat, but we were having a good time. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Embracing the suck together.
I think you nailed it right on the head, man. Just embracing the suck, kind of limping out of class and talking about the last class, how bad that sucked, and just having a laugh about it, and then at the same time just turning into a complete badass with a martial art that few can understand, and fewer want to deal with. and
100%. Jiu-jitsu is the most deadly. I mean, it hands down the most deadly martial art. And I haven't practiced it in, gosh, I want to say 5 or 6 years now, just due to injuries. But it's nice when you're like, let's say you're at Starbucks, and just in the back of your mind, you're like, I could just murder someone right now. That sounds awful.
With my knees or with my hands folded.
That sounds awful. All right. I mean, I don't mean it like that, but like, if the shit hits the fan, I'm a concealed carry, but let's say I didn't have my gun. Let's go down the list. I didn't have my gun. Yes, now I could murder you if given the opportunity. Great. I'm gonna
clarify that. I'm gonna defend myself to the fullest extent. I'm not gonna murder somebody. Just want to throw that out there.
No, I'm not gonna murder anyone. Self-defense isn't murder, right? Especially if you're doing jiu-jitsu.
Well, I mean, you said murder, so I just want to clarify my stances. I'm not gonna murder anyone.
Have you ever done jiu-jitsu?
A little bit. And
Okay.
then my roommate kind of threw me around for a quick second, and then I stopped.
Sounds kinky, but we won't go into that too much.
I mean, he was Coast Guard, so he had to teach me a couple things.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
John.
dude.
So DD214 BJJ.com. What's now, do you guys have a gym or is it just apparel? What do you guys, or do you teach? What's going on with that?
So, yeah, it's not a gym. It's just apparel. So the way it kind of started is my buddy Milt, he was in the Marine Corps with me. He had a Embroid Me franchise that he did some work on the side, which is unit shirts. It's called hellhoundgear.com. So if any unit in the Marine Corps, if you want like one of those, he can certainly hook that up. But he had that, and I was kind of telling him about jiu-jitsu and we're just trying to think of ways to use that, resource to highlight organizations that are helping veterans, and we just wanted to kind of get back a little bit and use that. So we started this website and literally learned how to design, I don't know, not well, but like apparel and we make kimonos and
You do?
yes, we did. Well, we have them made, so we design them and we send them out to manufacturers to get done, and we do rash guards, and I don't know, we're just kind of growing it as we go. And I think
I was going to say I laughed because in my mind kimono is that like silk. That silk robe, right? Am I right? Or is that a jiu-jitsu
Right.
thing?
It was. It's also the jacket for a gi, which is a jiu-jitsu uniform. So, yeah, these are all our shirts. Mainly t-shirts. We've got a printer and screen printing and stuff like that, and we're just kind of going off the cuff with that. I think the biggest thing we're doing is just connecting warriors and veterans or first responders or really whoever to kind of get back in the fight. So, and try to do something that's going to improve their lives. We've got a Facebook group. We've got a private Facebook group called Where Veterans Train. And that's kind of a resource for folks that are traveling, relocating, new duty station, looking for a place to train. So we're always willing to add people to that. It's a private Facebook group, but if we can get you in there, for sure. And we just try to keep all the spam out that way.
Yeah, you got to do that. Like I said, I don't remember who I was talking to last, but I'm like, I go on my Instagram and I'm like, oh great, I got 200 new followers, and I look at them and they're just porn stars. I'm like, awesome. I got no new followers. I just have a bunch of, what do they call them?
Hookers.
Hookers.
Thoughts, yes.
I'm like, oh, awesome. Or maybe they just have the hots for me. That's what I think that's what it's down to.
I'm going with that.
They love the show. Porn stars do enjoy the show, and they seek me out on Instagram and send me pictures. And stop, I'm a married man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm single. It's okay. Send them to me.
So that's awesome, man. And I understand this all started, or you were inspired because of a buddy that you lost.
Yeah, it's coincidental. It's 15 years ago today. One of my Marines, Mark Adams, was killed in Iraq. So, 2005 was kind of rough, and that's kind of what kind of spiraled, my mental illness of, just not being with my guys and deploying. And we lost a gunnery sergeant. He was a sergeant when I was in August of 2005. And then shortly after that, Mark was killed, and I got the news, and I was bartending at the time. So I had plenty of alcohol at within reach, and I literally went through a fog for many years. Mark was, he was junior to me, but he was kind of someone that I looked up to. Younger than me, he was squared away. I was total shitbag, and I don't know. It hit me pretty hard that I got I kind of squirreled away from combat. This guy, he got out, re-enlisted, got out, was coaching wrestling, just had the itch to get back in, got in, deployed, and he ended up becoming a platoon sergeant for his unit, and still got in the turret of his truck. Now, IED took him out. Piece of shrapnel came right underneath his Kevlar and his backside and took him out. Yeah, so partially that, this is all in his memory. Staff Sergeant Scott Wood, one of my best friends in the Marine Corps, passed away shortly after that. Well, a few years after that, and in Gunny Terry Ball. So yeah, that's kind of why we're doing this thing in their memory.
Yeah, and it's
awesome.
It's good. Well, two questions. One, are you currently in recovery? And two, I think a good lesson that people can take with this, because there's people in your position right now, or your position that you were in at that time, is two things: honoring your buddies. Think about what your buddy would say, when you're halfway through a fifth of bourbon or something like that. Think of what he would say in the situation, right? Not because I've drank plenty of bottles of bourbon with friends, but in the situation and the reason why you're drinking. That's number one. Number two, I lost my train of thought. Taking that energy, or that lack of energy, whatever it is, because it does take energy to be in a bad place. We were all in bad places. A lot of us are in bad places, and turning it around into something positive, something that will honor their names versus, winding up a statistic yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, man. No, I'm not in recovery. I mean, I've got sweet tea here now. I wish I knew you guys were drinking bourbon. I would have poured myself one too. But
pretty much always, man.
But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Just positive outlets, are clearly the better path to go, and that's what we're trying to do, is just encourage that.
Awesome, man. Where are you located?
I'm in Charlotte, so
oh shit!
Very nice.
Yeah,
you're
so
right
North
down
Carolina.
the road. You could have hung out. We will hang out. I make a point now. Yeah. One of the things, people hate coming on the show because then I start texting them all the time. I'm like, hey man, what's up? They're like Rudy Reyes. He's like, dude, I don't even know you. I joke. He's a nice guy, but
amazing, man.
So have you done a Silkies hike or anything like that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you done any Silkies hikes or anything like that?
Not yet, man. I kind of shy away from social media, and just having this business has brought me into it, and the connections that I made on Instagram and Facebook connected us and Reverent Warriors, and I'm looking forward to the next one that I can do for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah, you're gonna do one, especially you're in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know the actual stat, but we have a shit ton of hikes here. In fact, we have one on the 24th down in Fayetteville that my 72-year-old Navy vet dad is going to do. I think most of it. I don't know. We'll see. We might have to cut out halfway through, but yeah, man, you're definitely going to do one. Fayetteville's not that far.
It is not.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, we normally have this year we had 5 hikes in North Carolina. We had Raleigh, Jacksonville, Fayetteville is coming up, Wilmington, and Charlotte. We had one in Charlotte, so you did miss that one, but we will have that again next year.
Well,
so folks can find you. Give your plug to our people. They can find you. I'll let you do the website and all that stuff.
Yeah, DD214 BJJ.com is the website. Instagram is DD2, I guess, _Fightwear, and the Facebook is DD214 BJJ. So
okay. For a second there, I thought you were getting boomer on us, and you're like,
DD2
Fightwear.
Because I can't spell at all.
Well, yeah, you're a Marine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that's your Instagram, or what is that? Sorry.
That's for Instagram.
Yeah, that's the Instagram. So DD214 _.
Okay.
Fightwear.
DD214 _.
He's working on it. Look, I want to.
I mean,
wait,
he
watch.
said
I'll bring up
DD214
I'll bring
and
up his
DD2. I was
camera.
like, man, I'm going.
I'll bring up his camera. Look how he's like, there's sweat coming down.
Oh, man, I can't even spell because you got me on spot now.
He doesn't even Instagram right. Sorry, man. Awesome, dude.
I failed.
Well, hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on the show. If it's not for folks like you that reach out and share your stories, I feel like it adds a little bit of why we do this, why we spend all these hours trying to get people out there, because you never know. It's that one connection. It's that one dude that's in Charlotte right now that's like, hey, maybe I'll check that out, and reaches out to you and I don't know, introduces you to his sister, and next thing you know, you have children and grandchildren, and it all comes to
He rushed that real quick, man. He went from, hey, man, how you doing? Let's go to a hike, babies.
Sweet. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and we will definitely see you at a hike. And I'll make sure when the Charlotte one comes out next year, I'm definitely going to get on you and have you come down to that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
All right, man.
It's good to meet you, man. Thank you.
All right, you too. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Take care.
Take care.
Cool dude. We keep getting cool dudes on here. Here's the problem. We get really cool people on, and then it makes us look like shitheads.
But we are shitheads.
That's true. Well, we need to get shitty guests, and then we can be like,
we're the cool
better,
people.
Right?
Who are
it's
you?
Kind of like the skinny girl who hangs out with fat chicks. No, wait, how does that work?
Man,
am I going down a hole that I should not go down?
Let's just end that.
Should I
right
do this?
there.
Should I do? Okay.
Jamie's in the back going.
The producer's saying, "Don't do that." Okay, we won't do that. There is a.
But I get your point.
I want to end off too now with a safety brief. Did you bring it up?
There's always a safety.
There's a safety brief. Did you wear reflective belts in the military? It's a dumb question. It's rhetorical. First of all, who is the first person that wore a reflective belt? Someone. I mean, it was within the global war on terror, because there's no way they were wearing safety belts before that.
Someone had to come up with a thing that says, hey, man, let's just glow in the middle of the night. And that is not it, because that is not what I clicked on.
No, that's not. It's weekend safety brief, military.
There we go. I got it,
go.
man. No, I clicked on it, and then just technology was like, I don't think that's going to work. That's not how we do things.
So I happened to find the unicorn of safety briefs. And this is an Army guy getting saved by his reflective belt. Scroll down. I think it's got the live here. Scroll down, scroll down. There you go.
Man, I mean, that went on live television. let's play that back.
Yeah,
let's
play it again. Play it again. I wish it had slow-mo like you do in YouTube. Okay, so you can see them running around the back corner there. And then he just busted. Oh, and look at him. He's like, what the fuck?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Don't you know I'm special forces? No, that's an old guard. Actually, that's an old guard. That's up in Washington.
Man, like, could you imagine being saved by a glow belt?
Yeah. Then you became the guy that makes everyone wear. We used to wear them in freaking Iraq. Like going out to our aircraft on the flight line. We're like, all it takes is someone with a spotlight, and all of a sudden it's like,
so is that
center of mass.
Is that why we never got hit by indirect fire?
It could be.
Because that glow belt, man, that glow belt probably.
Didn't you guys have that glint tape? We had glint tape too.
Yep.
That I guess the NVGs could see, but no glint tape, safety belts. Here's the second thing. Now a lot of us are concealed carry permit holders. And a lot of us are trained, very well trained in the use of concealed carry weapons. I found this guy, and you just got to watch it. So this guy gets cut off by someone else. He starts screaming. They start arguing, and well, just watch. Oh yeah, I got to pull it up here. Hold on. Pull it up, Jamie.
So I'm going to fast forward. See that? Shooting right through the window.
He's shooting. Keep it going. It'll show you like.
Pointed it out the window.
You think?
I think that comes down to.
Ready? Look at those tats. He's a vet.
Oh, totally.
Oh.
I mean, that's reasonable reason to shoot back. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he didn't. Okay, he can kill it. Right, say kill it right as he's shooting out his window.
Good
You
word
know,
choice.
legitimately, I think it was a good shoot. Someone aims a gun at you. I don't know if I would shoot through my freaking window or just brake check. I mean, slam on your brakes unless
On the
there's something behind
highway,
him.
though, I mean,
the guy's
you gotta
gonna be-
know your target and what's beyond it. So.
Yeah. And you got to think about that all the time. Constantly thinking about that. There's so many. There's a great. Actually, I had the guy on the show. His name is. It was Active Self Protection. I can't remember the name of the guy, but just look at John Correa, spelled with a C, Corria, something like that, Italian last name. But he has this. It's the biggest gun show on YouTube. It's really a fascinating show, and what he does is he takes closed circuit camera. He takes badge cam footage. He takes all this footage of people getting into CC or gunfights, and he breaks them down. And what's amazing about it is like you can train, you can learn all that stuff. To see it when it actually happens and how quickly things happen and how you have to like split second be like, okay, am I going to draw and fire? It's a fantastic channel. Active Self Protection. Go check them out and listen to my interview with him. Really cool guy. He was a Navy veteran that messed up his back and like the rest of us, got sent packing. That is all for the safety briefs. I'm going to do some shout outs. I had my list up here. I want to try to start doing this too. Adrienne Hunt. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but shout out to you. She is active on the Facebook page, 21 Gun Facebook page. Brian Budd. Dan Mallard. Does anyone know Dan Mallard?
Who's that guy?
Is that a duck? I don't know who that
Ducky
is.
Dan.
Natasha Valerio.
It's a friend of mine. I served with her in the Marine Corps.
Matt, don't call him Matt. Matthew Reeves. I'm totally busting his balls, and I hope he picks up on that. Steve Holt. Steve Holt is a C-130 pilot that I used to fly with. Awesome dude, great pilot. I think he flies commercial now. He's like Val Kilmer. Did you ever see that Saturday Night Live where Val Kilmer was a commercial pilot and he was supposed to be like Iceman?
Yes,
Pretty funny.
I've seen that.
So he's probably doing that right now. I'm going to say this name wrong because I've never met her in person. Mary. It is. It looks like Mari.
She is the coordinator for Virginia Beach.
Oh,
We
okay.
just had that hike.
Oh, nice. So that's Mary Williams, Seth Bullock, and we'll do a couple more. Melissa Simmons.
That is Seth's wife.
Oh, okay, cool. And then Rick Delapia. I like that name, Delapia. A fellow Sicilian, perhaps. People don't realize that I'm about as Irish as it gets, but I'm actually more Sicilian than that. Jeremy, what hikes are coming up?
All right. So if you need to look for hikes, look up irreverentwarriors.com. I'm just kidding. Upcoming hikes, we have dun dun dun. The 17th, we have Houston, Texas, Cincinnati, Ohio, Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's in 2 days. Awesome.
It's coming up on Saturday. We have the 24th, it's Fayetteville, North Carolina, and Tucson, Arizona, as well as Round Rock, Texas. October 31st, and Richmond, Denver, and, well, I just said Richmond. Those are your Halloween hikes. If you're not dressed up, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, we should do a special show. Although, are you going to go up to that Richmond hike?
I'm not sure, man.
We
it
have
depends on daddy duties, you know?
We have a show. That's what he calls me, Daddy Duty.
Daddy.
We have a show 2 days prior to that, and we're having Frogman something. Seems like a cool guy.
Totally
Dan
butchered that.
Impastato. I don't know. He's a cool guy. But anyways, we're going to have him on that time. Go to 21gun.net, help out the show if you would. Buy a t-shirt, wear it. I forgot to mention this. So the people who have already tuned out, you're losing. If you use 21, don't spell it out because I can't get anything straight. Just the numbers, 21G Live. If you use 21G Live at checkout, I give you 10% off any purchases. So go ahead and support the show. I don't even have my first t-shirt because I just opened up the shop, but I'm going to get it probably the next show. I'll be wearing my merch. So yeah, that is basically everything. Everyone listening, call, text, and reach out to someone you served with tonight. Don't put it off. Do it tonight, right now. You sitting there, go onto your phone and text someone that you served with. And that's about.
Text someone right now.
Look at that. Jeremy's doing what I say. That's about all. Good night.